All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wonderful people, also freedom all over the world. Wherever you're joining us from today, you're highly welcome to this wonderful YouTube platform that gives you quality news and information on all the activities happening in Biafran territory. Please subscribe to this channel and make sure you turn on your notification because definitely we will notify you whenever we drop our spanking news. Now, straight up to the issue. Straight up to the issue without wasting any time. For the past few days, the social media has actually gone agog, concerning P2B coming out, to show support, for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Onyendu, who has been held in DSS custody, who was actually abducted, or rather, he was kidnapped from Kenya some years back. Now, I'm not going to talk about the issue of P2B, calling for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release. P2B is a politician, and anything is actually possible when it comes to politicians. That is why I try not to show any support for any politicians, any of them, no matter how they appear good, no matter how they appear real. So many politicians have also called for the release of Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but it was as if the world was waiting for P2B to speak out. Now, I'm not here to talk about P2B. I'm actually here to give a news, an information concerning Reno Omokri. Reno Omokri tackled P2B over that Nnamdi Kanu's release. Now, it's not even about Reno Omokri tackling P2B. I don't care what Reno Omokri says about P2B. After all, he has been saying a lot of things about P2B. The Reno Omokri in question is a shameless man. When I mean, he's a politician without direction. Coming from the days of Reno Omokri in PDP supporting Jonathan, he was a person who was, doing everything to protect Jonathan. Then we felt Reno Omokri was someone who was useful. We didn't know that this man is even part of the problem, that we are seeing. But that is their issue. Now, I want to pinpoint one thing that Reno Omokri has been doing. Reno Omokri has been insulting the Biafran, struggle. Go to his social media platform, go to his Twitter. And not just that he insulted P2B, he insulted Biafra because he mentioned about the Biafran struggle. And he said that P2B is supporting Biafra, which we know P2B is not. In fact, as a matter of fact, Biafrans don't like P2B because of his activities in the past. Now, Reno Omokri went further to say that the Biafra that P2B is supporting is the Biafra that has actually contributing to the crying of innocent life. He went further to call Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a terrorist. Oh, Reno Omokri is now speaking out. A nobody is coming out to talk about Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This stupid fool failed to speak out about the incessant killings that we have been seeing in Biafraland. He hasn't for one day condemned the activities of these so-called terrorists who have been massacring innocent Biafrans. Now, I'm just going to kola here, just let me read the first few lines on what Reno Omokri said. Then I will allow you to go to the comment section and give your own input. Then I'll give you a full analysis. The particular video of the broadcast of P2B, the full analysis. and why no true Biafran is even talking about Peter Obi's support to Nnamdi Kanu's release. You will see the reason why. Just calm down, and listen. Now, former presidential aide Reno Omokri has tackled former Anambra Governor Peter Obi over his call on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to release the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, from detention. Nnamdi Kanu, who has been prosecuted, we know the whole story about Nnamdi Kanu and how he was abducted. Now, he said, the indigenous people of Biafran leaders should be freed. That is what Peter Obi said, based on existing bail granted him by the court. However, Omokri said, by calling the release of Nnamdi Kanu, listen, Omokri said, by calling the release of Nnamdi Kanu, Obi has exposed himself and his supporters, popularly known as the Obedience, as sympathizers of secessionist group IPOB, and has therefore put his future presidential ambition in jeopardy. Must everything be politicized by this stupid Reno Omokri? Let us continue. Omokri said this was because IPOB has been indicted as the mastermind of the unknown gunmen behind killing of security operatives in the southeastern part of the country. Now, Reno Omokri has to actually explain when, IPOB, when we talk about IPOB, we don't talk about the IPOB Nigeria being run by the DOS. We're talking about IPOB as a people, IPOB as Biafrans, as IPOB as a movement, as a people, fighting for the freedom of Biafra. We're not talking about here the DOS in the Zuzuari. Now, Reno Omokri has to come out and explain this indictment that has seen IPOB as the mastermind of the unknown gunmen behind the killing of security operatives in the southeastern part of the country. That is one. Now, he further claimed that Nnamdi Kanu had also called for killing of security operatives in the southeast before he was abducted, in as much as they said arrested here. Let us not forget that the Nnamdi Kanu in question is the same person that a court of competent jurisdiction released, discharged, and acquitted. Let us not forget that the Nnamdi Kanu in question is the same person that, despite all the court trials, for one day, the Nigerian government cannot say or cannot, review one particular crime that Nnamdi Kanu has committed. So, Reno Omokri has some explanations to do, because why I'm bringing the issue of Reno Omokri is that most of you don't follow that man. Like, you don't see his activities. This man has, over and over again called that Biafran, called that the struggle, called that the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá. He has been taking things very personal. In as much as this is, he's just trying to politicize Peter Obi's, interest in calling for the release of Nnamdi Kanu to his own, interest and for his paymaster. I wouldn't have taken, Reno Omokri seriously, because I don't take people who have no direction seriously. Because Reno Omokri has proven to be one man who has no direction. Oh, today he is, clamoring for Buhari. Oh, tomorrow he is defending Jagaban. Next tomorrow he's clamoring or defending Jonathan. This same Reno Omokri, during the ESAS protest, should we enter that discussion? But before we go further into the issue of this Reno Omokri, Once again, I want you to listen to the full analysis on that P2B's issue supporting Nnamdi Kanu and how it was analyzed fully. Please do not forget to continue to share this particular video to as many groups and to as many platforms as possible. Enjoy.
Commenting, and once your comment catches my eye during the broadcast, I will definitely show your comment on the screen and of course read it out for everyone to hear. All right, we have to move on immediately. Please, I welcome every one of you. If I do not mention you right now, don't worry yourself. You are highly welcome to this very live presentation. We have to move immediately without further hesitation. Now, the publication that was, circulated or that broke the internet yesterday was that what's the name? Mr. P2B. Mr. P2B is currently asking or calling for the immediate release of Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. When I say IPOB, I'm talking about the Biafrans at large. I'm talking about the real meaning of IPOB, which is the indigenous people of Biafra. So, because most of these nowadays, yes, nowadays, I feel so ashamed to mention that very word called IPOB. I'm telling you the honest truth. I feel very, very ashamed to mention the word IPOB, but I won't stop mentioning it because it is my identity. Like as I said before, and I am repeating it again, I do not regard IPOB as an organization. I see IPOB as a blood that runs through my vein and through the vein of every individual in the old eastern region of the damnable zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. Hence, I will always, mention it regardless. So IPOB, not as an organization, but as a people, the indigenous people of Biafra. The other IPOB run by some criminal elements in the name of DOS have been bastardized, has become a criminal entity, a criminal organization, and of course, a business empire. So that is, ndị Igbo si na mekaniki ekwerozai malụ ndị bụ ndị ala. Mekaniki ekwerozai malụ ndị bụ ndị ala. But of course, we will always, try to recognize mechanic when we see them, irrespective of their addresses. Happy Sunday, all of you, my wonderful people of Biafra listening to me right now. Please, once you are joining me, endeavor to like and share this very broadcast. Is very, very important. We are not going to waste our time right here. We are going to use the time judiciously in order to deliver the message and face some other things that we are doing. Today is Sunday. I believe most of our people are in the church. Why some of them are taking care of their family. Some of them have taken their families out there at least to give them a good treat. But those of us who are here listening to this very gospel, including me, who are here already in the studio of Biafra Unite channel / television, we are, of course, not that the other ones who are not here are not hardcore, no, but at least we are hardcore. Let me put it that way. I'm sorry if you are not here. We are hardcore. Not that those who are out there enjoying themselves are not hardcore. No, I never said so. For those of us who are still shooking eyes into Biafran matters, today being Sunday, we supposed to have what is called bosa. Now, let me share the first screen for what we will be discussing this very afternoon, and then can we hear Bapi also from here? Of course, you can see this is from Daily Post Nigeria. They said, Obi decries insecurity in Nigeria, calls for release of Kanu, other detainees. So I, of course, read this very particular one yesterday during my during my pre-recorded broadcast. I talked about it, but I did not have the opportunity required, the time required to do proper justice to this, to do the proper analysis to this, because I've also gathered some video clips which I will be playing moving forward that will also give us clear picture of what we are talking about concerning this very man on the screen. Because some people may think that we are trying to antagonize him. We are not antagonizing anybody. What we say here is only but the truth. What we say here is nothing but the truth. We always give opportunity and chance for other people, including non-Biafrans and, of course, non-lovers of freedom, to come in here and, of course, ask us some questions, some very, very important questions, or even to debate with us. Because I myself, me personally, am a lover of argument, reasonable and meaningful argument. I love argument so much. In fact, I am one of the #1 people in the world that love argument. And of course, I always love it when it is meaningful, so that others will learn. I may not know everything. If I make any mistake, you can, of course, correct me. Now, if you correct me in the comment section and I read your comment and I see that, yes, I have made a mistake here, I always acknowledge it immediately without wasting any time. But when I see that you are trying to correct me, but you are the one making a mistake, then instead of me to talk too much, I will give you the link or the phone number to call me. And of course, let us debate it live and direct while every other person is listening. Because if I win you, meaning that I have taught you a lesson, so you are not the only one who is going to learn, because definitely there are some other people who reason like you. So those people who think like you will as well learn at the same time, during the process. So not only you, but if you win me, then those who think like me will as well have the opportunity to learn during that very process. So that's why I always give opportunity for argument and debate. So please, if you are an obedient and you are listening to me right now, I want you to get ready, because once I share the link to this to the studio, I would like you to click the link and join me live in the studio. Let us debate one-on-one. Let us talk to ourselves so that everybody will listen. Bring your own brain, bring your best brain, bring it here to the table, while I will bring my own and we will debate. I always like to give chance, even though you do not believe in what we are doing. I always like to give chance for a debate so that everybody will be clear. So that is it. Now, because I talked about this during my pre-recorded broadcast yesterday, I will not be reading everything written, on this article or publication. I wouldn't be reading all of it. So I would just go straight to the point and read it, and then start playing some other videos that I have at hand, so that we can be able to dissect them. Now, according to the write-up, they said, presidential candidate of Labour Party in the 2023 election, Peter Obi, has lamented the level of insecurity in Nigeria, calling for the release of the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, other freedom fighters, and any NSAS protesters still being detained. Obi, who spoke to journalists on Saturday morning in Onitsha, called on leaders to double their effort in providing security for citizens, saying that if nothing was done, the country may become a failed nation, which we all know that the country has already failed. It is just because of hypocrisy. That's why they are not acknowledging it. Now, he said, the primary work of government is the security of lives and property. It is the foundation on which people can live in any nation, because no one can stay in an insecure place. And remember, when they say nation, they are using that word to deceive themselves, because as far as we're concerned, as far as we know the meaning of nationhood, the zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria, does not in any way whatsoever fall in that category. Now, it is worrisome what is happening in Nigeria with the news of killings, abductions, and others, which has made Nigeria one of the most insecure places on the surface of the earth. In fact, it is leading to a failed nation. Now, I thank government for their effort so far, but there is need to do more, and all leaders must come together to join hands and fight this. In the Southeast, there is need for the governors to come together to be able to tackle this. Now listen, he said, even on economic agenda, I want to see the Southeast governors work closely more. We want to see them come together and also bring together other groups in the zone. Now, giving his views on the continued detention of Kanu, Obi said, I don't see any reason for his continued detention, especially as the courts have granted him bail. Government must obey the court. Now, this is where I want to, talk about. This is the exact place that I really want to talk about. So let me finish it. Let me finish it just here. He said, rule of law is an intricate asset that we must cherish and live with. I use this opportunity to plead with government to ensure that all those who are in similar conditions are released and discussed with. We are in a democracy, and we should not be doing things that are arbitrary and not within the law. And not within the law. So now, you can see what Peter Obi said here. This is the main place. If I be abado here, if I know I be abado. According to Peter Obi, he said he is talking about the victory of Nnamdi Kanu in the appeal court that took place. When did that happen? I think October. I think it happened in October 2022, if I'm not wrong. Somebody can, correct me in the comment section. Somebody can help me. Is it October 2022 or is it October 2023? I don't think it's October. It's not October 2023. I think it's 2022. Please help me in the comment section. When was that victory achieved? Nnamdi Kanu's acquittal in the court of appeal. I believe it was in October, but I am getting it mixed up between 2022 and 2023. But I believe it's 2022. Yes, I believe it's 2022 for sure. It's 2022. Yes. Now, Peter Obi is now leveraging on that judgment of appeal court, so that Nnamdi Kanu should be released, given the order of appeal court, which discharged Nnamdi Kanu, right? So please, if you are not hearing my voice, endeavor to let me know in the comment section. Very, very important. Because I like when I ask a question, those who are aware of it should, help me with the answers immediately, because when you mount on this microphone, I'm not a computer. I may not remember every single thing that I want to say or that I'm supposed to say. So if my voice is not coming out, please let me know in the comment section, my beloved brethren. So P2B, leveraging on the appeal court judgment which took place on October, which I strongly believe that happened in 2022. Sure. Now, in 2023 was early 2023, there was, or should I say, was the time and moment when P2B and co were touring the whole world campaigning to become the president of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom. I want to show you the reason why I said that the case of Nnamdi Kanu cannot in any way be, politicized. We are not going to allow that to happen. Nnamdi Kanu himself cannot allow himself to be politicized. So we outside cannot allow his case to be politicized by or using media means to politicize the case of Nnamdi Kanu. So we are not going to allow that to happen. Now, P2B was gallivanting all over the places, campaigning from the end of 2022 to the early part of 2023 until that, until that very election, until the election day. P2B had been going up and down campaigning with his running mate, Dati. They were singing for him, obedient to obedient. The other one sang, what's the name of that boy? They called him, what's the name of that song? Labor song. I don't know. I forgot that song. I forgot the name of that song. That young man, the mechanic boy, who sang song for P2B, and that song went viral. So he never for one day advocated for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. LP, thank you. Thank you, Star Chinedu. Some people say, it's political, it's politics. If he talk about the release of Nnamdi Kanu now, that those who would have voted for him, wouldn't have voted or wouldn't vote for him. And I ask myself, listen, Atiku Abubakar, who was the vice president of the Zoological Republic, made a comment against the stoning of Deborah. I want you to pay attention. During that campaign period, Atiku Abubakar, who has higher level in politics than P2B by far, because Atiku Abubakar has served the Zoological Republic for 8 good years as the deputy president. So he has far higher political level than P2B. And again, he was, and he's still a top member of the People's Democratic Party. Now, This Atiku Abubakar, with all his levels, his fame, and his, connections and, massive, followership, made a comment against the stoning of the late Deborah. Do you know what happened? The Northerners, the Northern youths, they besieged his comment section on X. They threatened that they are not going to vote for him again, for him to dare speak against the stoning of Deborah, knowing fully well that was a crime. That was a crime. Taking law into your hand, stoning an innocent person in the name of religion is a crime against humanity. They know very well, because in the so-called constitution of the zoo, there is no any space, no chance at all for jungle justice. No chance. So now Atiku Abubakar, knowing that, look, this is evil, he came out, even though his religion, even though the people who committed that crime are people from his religion, who claim to fight for their God. Because I've never seen where you are fighting for your God before. To me, it's only a coward that will say, I'm fighting for my God, as far as I'm concerned. Because your God, that's why he's called God. He is above you. He is bigger than you. You can never be above your God. Your God will always be bigger than you and above you. So if you say you are fighting for your God, so that means they're supposed to examine your brain and your thinking faculty to know if you are normal. Yes. So those who say they are fighting for their God and they stoned an innocent young girl, they know very well that those who have brain know that these people have committed abomination. These are one of the things that lay curse upon a land or a nation. So Atiku spoke. He spoke against that, that incident, and after the threat on his comment section, he deleted that comment on Twitter. That condemnation of that heinous crime committed by his youths, his northern youths, he deleted the comment and tendered a public apology. He retrieved and retreated. Then you ask yourself why. It is all because of politics. All because of politics. So if Atiku can descend so low to retrieve his comment, deleted his comment, and retreated. Now, imagine Peter B saying this same thing he has said here on your screen during that very campaign, which is the truth, which is being sincere, that there is no need. He said, I see no need of keeping Nnamdi Kanu in detention. I see no reason. I see no reason for keeping or for his continued detention. I see no reason. This man said, I see no reason for his continued detention. That is the comment of Peter Obi. I'm going to play the video for you. I will play the video here, which is the truth. Because of the judgment of the appeal court in October 2022. So I see no reason of keeping him in detention. Peter Obi, instead of him to stand on that truth, if I want to fail election, let me fail election, but let me stand on the truth. We are not even talking about being an Igbo man, and Nnamdi Kanu being an Igbo man. We are not talking about tribe now. This has nothing to do with tribe now. Let me stand on the truth. Whether it will cost me the election, no problem. Everything should not be politics and criminality. So, Peter Obi, when they asked him about IPOB, this is the first of all, let me play this current comment. Let me play it for you. After then I will now show you what he. No, I think I have to go first. Let me go first of all to his comment on IPOB during that campaign. And he knew that court, the same court he's quoting today, had already granted Nnamdi Kanu bail, had already discharged unconditionally, had already discharged Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally, had released him unconditionally, even asked the zoo government to apologize to him and, of course, pay him back for the damages that they have caused for kidnapping him, and they extraordinarily rendition him to the zoo, that he should be compensated. P2B is aware, the whole world is aware of that judgment. The whole world, including United Nations, is aware of that very judgment. P2B, when they asked him during that same campaign, this voice that he has today, this voice he suddenly gathered today, was not there. That's why if you go through this very, title, the title of this very broadcast is P2B's call for Kanu's release, genuine or another Azikiwe from the East? Is a question. Is it genuine or is it another Nnamdi Azikiwe from the East? That is the title of this very, broadcast. So let me refresh your memory. Let me show you his comment on IPOB, his first one and the second one, and then we'll see the latest outburst. Now pay attention.
Maybe you're not following me. Even yesterday, I spoke about Biafra. On the issue of IPOB. Maybe you're not following me. Even yesterday, I spoke about Biafra being ended 53 years ago. It's all over the place in the space.
He said, maybe you are not following me. That yesterday, this was during the during the campaign. He said, Biafra ended 54 years ago. That was Peter Obi. On the issue of IPOB, they asked him a question, and this thing happened at the Chatham House in London. It is only in the zoo, if not in Africa, that somebody is fighting to become the president of that country, and then they have to go for a debate in Chatham House. Only in Africa, because you have gullible idiots who carry only headless, only head like headless chickens, parabolating all over the places, running helter-skelter, doing everything that they could, doing everything that it takes just to become a president. Only in Africa. People they speak like they as if they are too wise and educated. Like Peter Obi will give you the GDPs of all the countries of the world. Peter Obi have it off head. Even upon his age, who are supposed to be forgetting some certain things, Peter Obi will give you the GDPs of all the nations in the world. You think he has brain, you think he has sense. He knows absolutely nothing. He knows nothing. If he has brain, he should have known that, no, this is not good. This is not necessary. I am not supposed to go for a debate at the Chatham House only for me to become president of the zoo called Nigeria. Oh, hi. So you are, not activating. You are legitimizing the illegitimacy of the British colonialism. Can somebody help me? Am I getting it right? You are trying to validate the criminality of the British in Africa. You see that? You are validating it. Going to Britain for a debate to become president in Nigeria that is the height of it all. And he went there. They asked him about his brothers and sisters in the East. Look at what he said.
On the issue of IPOB, maybe you're not following me. Even yesterday, I spoke about Biafra being ended 53 years ago. It's all over the place in this space.
And he was boasting. They were clapping for him. He was boasting. He was boasting. They were applauding him. Can you imagine? Oh my goodness me. Let's listen to him.
Biafra being ended 53 years ago. It's all over the place in this space. I condemn all agitators, but
he said he condemned all agitators. What is wrong with our people? What is wrong with our people? I condemn all. He said, though, I'm not the one who's saying it. Peter Obi said he condemned all agitators. All agitators. So, somebody who claims to be a brilliant person, well educated for sure, no doubt about that. He went to school, opened his mouth, and not just being well educated, but this man should be a Democrat. This man should be a very civilized individual, a very civilized human being, a resound person. That is what Peter Obi should have been. Just like when I said yesterday during my pre-recorded broadcast, I said Peter Obi is the direct replacement of Isaac Iwe. I'm telling you, well, very resound, very well-trained, well-nurtured, even the way he talks or the way he dresses, you see that this person was well-trained from background. He didn't force himself to become a guy. He's a born guy man. But all this training and all this nurture with your money and your civility are not enough for you to know that agitation, protest, or whatsoever is the inalienable right of a people to know what to fight or to agitate for what they want. With all your civilization and everything, they are not enough for you to know that it is the right of the people to agitate. And here he was at the Chatham House in the land of those who claim to be the founders of, the democracy or, a civilization whatsoever in their soil, telling you that he condemns all, he said all type of agitation. Let's listen to him again. Although he tried to blend it to the government and all that because of he's a politician vying to become the president. Let's listen to it.
Biafra being ended 53 years ago. It's all over the place in this space. I condemn all agitators, but in condemning them, you have to look at what brought about these agitations all over the place.
Do you now understand it? He has turned to blame it on the government. But remember, he has already satisfied his masters by saying, I condemn all agitators. It doesn't matter what he says next. He said, but in condemning it, you have to look at what brought the agitation. But this one is because he's a politician. So what he did there is using one stone to buy two birds. Because he believes he's wise, he's using he's using one stone to buy two birds. One stone is to satisfy his masters at the Chatham House, to let them know, yes, if I become the president, forget it, the zoo will continue. There will be nothing like Biafra. That one is done and dusted. That is the first target of saying, I condemn all agitators. Now, for him to say, in condemning it, you have to check what caused it, which he now landed to the government of the zoo. You understand me? So the second stone is to use it to buy the second bird, which is condemning the APC government of the zoo, so that the zoo animals can be able to vote him in as the president elect. When we watch videos or we listen to people, we reason properly. We don't just watch and like Nnamdi. Nnamdi tortoise. On a de kweni obun nabe ngwere agho na de kweni isi. We don't just watch and nod our heads like lizard. No. He used one stone to chase two birds, but he lost it all. Now let's listen to him and then we'll move to the next video.
All agitators, but in condemning them, you have to look